Hello, everyone. Welcome to Midweek Gaming. I'm Nick on the side of the comms, of course. Justin providing audio commentary and his own brand of madness. So, Destiny Rising. This is a topic that I think is a long overdue for this channel, especially considering, I don't know if you've noticed, but we cover a lot of Destiny content on this channel. We like to cover the news and goings on in the games industry, but since, well, at least me, especially nowadays, and more the Destiny player. We used to be both a lot Destiny players, but Justin has kind of taken a break from the game. But
Yes.
regardless, we always seem to find ourselves going back to the Destiny well, just because of how things shake up. So considering that, we figured it would be disingenuous of us if we didn't give our opinions on the newest project out of, well, technically NetEase. Would you consider it a project out of NetEase or Bungie? It's a co-project, but it's like
It's a co-project of sorts. It depends on who's the primary, like, officiary of it.
I guess it would be a NetEase project in that case, right? Because it's like Bungie has like some say, so NetEase doesn't go too insane. But at the end of the day, it's like it's completely separate from the lore. It's an alternate universe. NetEase pretty much has free reign within a pretty open boundary to do what they want. So I guess it's more of a NetEase project, honestly, that just kicks up to Destiny or kicks up to Bungie, I should say. So yeah, I guess we'll just go with that. So the NetEase project that is coming out, it ended its closed alpha, and obviously individuals such as ourselves did not get access to this alpha, though I don't want to speak for Justin. I myself, I don't think would even take the opportunity to go into the pre-alpha because
My apologies, but anything gacha related is not my steal.
I myself do play gotcha games. If you're a fan of the channel, you know I've commented. I play Genshin, I play Star Rail, have played Honkai Impact Third. Maybe I'll back into it, stuff like that. But even so, I don't know. It's just the nature of this game and everything behind it just feels too blatantly scummy, or I guess it just feels too murky for my taste, right? Like with most gotcha games, there's always an underlevel of murkiness to it. Like there's always some level of greed to it. There's always some level to it. It's just the nature of the beast when you play gotcha games. Or just games of this kind of thing. When fairness, I don't believe Destiny Rising is a gotcha game. It's just loot box heavy. Well, actually, no, it is a gotcha game. Actually, no, my mistake. It is a gotcha game, but I just between everything, it just doesn't feel like it feels blatantly scummy in this case, right?
Yeah.
Like they're not even trying to hide it. So between all of that, honestly, even if they offered me like, "Hey, you want to do Destiny Rising Alpha?" I would say no, genuinely. Thankfully, there are many people over the internet who have far more infamy, such as myself, that who have actually gone into Alpha, such as individuals such as Eric Driver, I believe Schweitzer, if I'm your name right, from The Gamer. So The Gamer was offered access to it. I believe Paul Tassi was as well, though I might be wrong on that one. But anyways, regardless, individuals such as that have indeed gotten in and they've given their opinions for the rest of us, and good boy, it's pretty much as parable as I thought about it. So first off, for you don't know if you don't know Destiny Rising, let me just lay some groundwork for you. Destiny Rising, as I mentioned before, is basically a game set in Destiny franchise, but not in the same universe. It's a completely different universe, completely different timeline, which if I may just stray off topic for a slight second, considering all the timeline shenanigans that happen in the Destiny franchise, if the two of them don't even reference each other, if the two of them at least don't reference each other, I would genuinely be surprised. But regardless, like the Vex simulation, we just peek into Destiny Rising, and the Guardian's just like,
What
yeah,
is
no.
this?
What is this? Please tell me this is one of the timelines The Witness won. But anyways, but yeah, no. So it's a completely separate thing. So none of the lore impacts the actual main Destiny franchise. So it's pretty much just completely separate with like similarities. So individuals such as Ikora appear, the Traveler, the Holy Sphere, there's a speaker of some kind. but it's set before the Dark Ages or like in the mid Dark Ages, I think, as well. So it's very
Nice.
different also in terms of like technology tier and scope and everything, since also it's canonically set differently, not just universally, but canonically as well. But you have individuals, like I said, like Ikora there and stuff like that. And so we're kind of getting a peek behind the scenes. And well, I think I just best to quote Paul Tassi's Forbes article to just kind of give you a scope of everything. Destiny Rising is gotcha hell with decent gameplay, but no clear audio. Which I think pretty much explains it all, but let me elaborate for those who want a bit more clarity. Basically, what it seems like going into Destiny Rising is that it's a game that very much feels like it's designed to just make money with decent ideas. Like, don't get me wrong, I've seen the trailer for Destiny Rising. I've seen some of the gameplay, or like some of the stuff around it, right? Not the gameplay, but like I've seen the trailer and I've seen some like talk about it. And there genuinely seems to be like good ideas, right? Like there are some interesting super concepts, which honestly, if they were brought into main Destiny, would be really good. But in terms of the game itself, the gameplay, again, is decent, but it's clearly monetized to hell and back, which, as a NetEase project, if you don't know NetEase, they're infamous for this kind of thing, which is one of the reasons I honestly would not touch this game with a 10-foot pole. But it clearly is like there's no audience. Like, who is this made for, effectively, right? Like, don't get me wrong. The idea of going into a different alternate, like going into a time in the middle of the Dark Ages or like around the Dark Ages, early City Age, where the Destiny lore is particularly like pretty vague and open, like not explored yet, is a good concept. But since it's in a completely separate universe, it doesn't really matter. It feels like it was more a place in the Destiny timeline that NetEase picked because they have a very loose string from Bungie that basically says, we're looking at their stuff, making sure they don't do anything insane. But,
But
you know, NetEase also picked it because they can tell their own stories, and because there's so little story in that period of Destiny's history, they can pretty much do whatever they want without risk someone saying, but that's a continuity problem, because there is no continuity there yet. And even then, they can hide behind the, well, it's a different universe, so I don't know. I think this is a good part to kind of go into the next headliner, and this one's from the Gamer, which kind of is another way to kind of summarize the point I've just made. Destiny Rising is good fun and bad fan fiction. Like, I feel like the headlines for the articles, of again, all of which are down below in the description. If you want to read them for yourself, I would. They're interesting. But anyways, I feel like these topics are like these headlines are pretty good, like taglines for the points I'm trying to make, like the synopsis of the point. In this case, again, it seems like a good game, but it just feels like the product of bad fan fiction in terms of storytelling.
it seems as messy as the Destiny story can be at times, but worse because
But
it's all fan
worse.
fiction.
Which, in fairness, Bife himself actually kind of commented on this. In fairness, he makes some good points where he says that Destiny Rising it's a mobile game. It is built and designed like a mobile game. It's not like Genshin or Star Rail or I guess Honkai Impact Third in a way, where they're also made for like PC and console as well. So there are the possibilities for like long play sessions. And so if you play games like Genshin or Star Rail, you'll have these massive set pieces and these pretty decent storytelling. Look at the archive for Genshin. It's a lot of reading. It's a lot of reading, but it feels like because Destiny Rising is very much made as a mobile game, maybe there will be a port in the future. I don't know. It very much feels like don't expect grandiose storytelling like you get from Destiny, right? And I'm sure there's some cynics in the audience who would go, "We can't even expect that from Destiny. God knows Destiny Rising would give us that." I could tell that was exactly what you were going to say, Justin. Like, well, in
Well,
fairness,
you see, in fairness,
even
something,
Destiny struggles to
it is all fine.
But yeah, in fairness, even Destiny struggles to think of that Destiny Rising, which is whatever. But again, we'll see. Again, NetEase can take this in whatever direction they want. Will I play it when it comes out? Honestly, I don't think so. I genuinely don't. again, like I said, it's not because I'm versed to gacha games, as I've said before in this channel and in this show repeatedly. I play games like Star Rail, Genshin, etc. I'm not averse to gacha games in and of themselves. Like I played some of the Fate mobile game, which is itself notorious for monetization. But it's like, you know, just because of everything around Destiny Rising, I don't know. I just can't play it in good faith. It's kind of like Diablo Immortal in that regard, I think, where it's like because of the nature of it, I can't play it with in good faith. I just can't. It feels wrong. What about you, Justin?
Again, not a gacha player, so that is yes.
That's a good point. Just lean on that. Not a gacha player, so he won't be playing it regardless of
It's like I am
it.
sorry, sir, but I am not your target audience.
Which goes back to the no clear audience. Another point we can kind of end off with on this show is, interestingly enough, the gamer actually revealed that it seems that in the closed alpha there's actually AI voiceover that they used at the moment.
Yeah.
One of the examples he gave was actually a weird encounter with with Ikora, actually a younger version of Ikora in the game, where it's actually a weird blend between the actual voice actor and the AI. Which I have no idea how that would play out at the
Okay,
moment, but
that's
they give a
that's weird.
they give yeah they give a pretty interesting encounter where or they give a pretty interesting recounting where it's like 1 minute they'll be talking to they'll be talking to the NPC, and it's like 1 minute you hear the voice of the voice actor, and then all of a sudden it's robotic and you can tell it's AI. Like it's back and forth, and it's like, eh. Granted, they do point out in the article that it's not uncommon for pre-alpha builds to have like placeholder stuff. So maybe they haven't gotten the voice lines in yet, but like just on a side note, I'm playing a pre-alpha version of a game right now, Soulframe, made by DE. Don't know if I don't want to sound cheeky and say I don't know if you've heard about it, but whatever. But even then, all of their stuff is actual voice acted. Like they have the voice lines already in there. It's not AI. I don't honestly know of any other game that has used AI voice work in the pre-alpha build. Like I don't. They would just have like B-roll voice film or B-roll voice lines in that case then. But I don't know. Maybe because the nature of the gacha game, they have to have kind of B-roll in some cases. Because again, in some cases, you're dealing with pretty big characters. Like I don't know, maybe we'll see Cade in this, and that's Nathan Fillion or Nolan North, depending on how you get, which are both arguably pretty decent. I mean, Nathan himself is a major name in Hollywood, and well, maybe not so much these days. Not no knock on him, but whatever. And Nolan is a big voice actor in the games industry, so I don't know, not cheap, I guess, but whatever. Again, maybe that just shows more to the fact that this is made to make money and not necessarily as a good product. But I don't know. Maybe my cynicism is showing, honestly. No, who am I kidding? It's definitely showing. But I don't know. With all of this going forward, it's interesting. My overall opinion of Destiny Rising is to close this off. It's good and a bad thing. It's a good thing for the Destiny franchise because for the longest time, Bungie has only really had Destiny. And they really have no other sources of making money. And clearly, NetEase is going to be kicking up money made from the mobile game to Bungie, who will themselves be kicking it up to Sony. So honestly, I think it's more of a quote at this point of proving to Sony they can make money. Like I don't know,
Maybe.
but it'll allow them to diversify a bit more, even if it is through a partner through NetEase. So maybe this will increase the game in terms of what they can do because of better funding. I don't know. One thing I do know is that there are some genuine good ideas here once you get rid of the whole mobile shtick. Like once you separate the whole, odd storytelling and like, fact that it's a gotcha game and whatnot, there are actually some good ideas here. Like I said before, there's some concepts for supers here that genuinely do look interesting. Like, yes,
Scythe.
give the warlock a scythe.
Scythe.
Yeah, give the warlock a scythe, please. Let me have that. We kind of played with that in
I
Season of the Haunted.
I
But
mean,
give me a genuine scythe.
to be fair though, out of everyone, technically that seems like a hunter thing to have.
I guess. I mean, it depends
Like,
on how you play it, right?
it does depend on how you play it, but if you want to go Grim Reaper type, then yes, that is 100% a hunter thing.
I mean, you could play the cloak off thing because, like,
You could.
the Grim Reaper cloak isn't really a hunter thing. It's more of like a cape for the hunter. But yeah, whatever. That's a side topic for another day. But again, like I said, there are genuinely some good ideas here that Bungie could take because, like I said, at the end of the day, it's a separate universe. So, as I said before, they could always reference it and use it as a backbone for like ideas. Like I said, like this game might itself be a complete hodgepodge of a mess filled with AI voices and blatant
Stuff.
monetization stuff, but there's genuinely some good stuff to be taken from this. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say Destiny Rising is inherently, in its entirety, a bad thing. It's mostly, I would think, a bad thing, but there is some good to be had here. You know, there is some good things. Like I said, ideas can be picked here. And hell, we might even see some of these ideas for the Dark Ages, some of the better ideas, because, like I said, it's still early. They might change up the story to actually fill in the gaps for the Dark Ages. You never know. Elsie, for God's sake, has been going through the timeline back and forth, you know.
Who knows
Maybe
how many
she knows.
times?
Yeah, who knows how many times at this point. So, you know, maybe this is one of the timelines she's crossed in. That would actually be. God dang it, I think I just gave them an idea for like a 5-star character or something like that, Elsie Bray.
Damn, bro.
Given I'm doing their work and I'm not even trying. But anyways. But yeah, that's the show. That's our ideas in Destiny Rising. Like I said, this video has been a long time coming since, like I said, it's we cover Destiny a lot on this show. So I feel like if we didn't at least give our opinions on Destiny Rising, it would be disingenuous or at the very least odd, considering, you know, all the nonsense around it. You know, we're not a show that's just gonna tout the good things. We have to also tout the bad things.
There
So
are some good, there are some bad. All of it is painful.
So there you have it. That's our opinions on Destiny Rising going forward. Subject to change, maybe. I mean, I try to consider myself an open-minded person, but we'll see how it goes. I'm pretty certain I won't be touching this one, but you never know. I've been won over in the past, so maybe I'll be won over again. But frankly, I wouldn't hold my own breath. So yeah, there we have it. So let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. What do you think about Destiny Rising? You think it's a good thing? Think it's a bad thing? Think I should play it?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, but let us all know your thoughts in the comment section below. And again, as we commented before, all the articles we mentioned are going to be in the description in the comment section, or comment section in the description box below. So if you want to go read them yourself, go ahead. And yeah, that's our show for this week. And see you all next week. Have a good night, have a good day, whatever time zone you're in, and see you all next week, everybody. Bye-bye!